Fricatives are consonants that let out air slowly between a small space, usually making a hissing or buzzing sound. The hissing sounds are voiceless and the buzzing sounds, z, are voiced. The fricative consonants in American English are f, v, th, th, s, z, sh, zh, and h. F and v are both labial dental, which means lip teeth. You put your top teeth on your bottom lip, like that. V, 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 v. V is voiced. That means you use your voice box. You can feel your voice vibrating if you touch your throat, while f is not voiced. It is voiceless. We do not vibrate. We simply let out air. You will also notice that if you have a piece of toilet paper, the v sound, v, the voiced sound will not make the toilet paper move very much. You're not letting out as much air, whereas the voiceless sound will make the toilet paper move quite a lot more. Practice f and v with me by reading these sentences. First, give a lift to verify the left vocals. For value, feed a very funny offer to a vet over coffee. One more time. First, give a lift to verify the left vocals. For value, feed a very funny offer to a vet over coffee. Th and th are interdental, which means we put our tongue between our two teeth. We actually do this. We actually bite down very, 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 very softly on our tongue. For these two, th is voiced, th, and th is voiceless. Practice th and th with me by reading this sentence. I think this thing is like that thing, but with Mother's bathing suit in the bath, I loathe those thoughts. Let's do that one more time, a little faster. I think this thing is like that thing, but with Mother's bathing suit in the bath, I loathe those thoughts. S and z are alveolar, which means our tongue will interact with the alveolar ridge, just like with the t and d sounds. With the t and d sounds, we put our tongue, the tip of our tongue, on the alveolar ridge, which is the hard part of your gums right behind your teeth. But with the fricatives, s and z, we are not putting the tip of our tongues up there. We are putting the middle of our tongues up there. Z, s, z, s. For me, the middle of my tongue presses up against that ridge, and then the front of my tongue curves down and lands behind my bottom teeth. Some people place the tip of their tongue a little bit higher, so you can experiment and find what works for you. As long as you're getting the s and z sounds, you're good. You'll also notice that my teeth are closed. S, z, s, z, s, z. But they're not closed tightly. I'm not clenching or biting. And s, z, the air that travels down and makes the sound slides down my tongue like a slide. S, z, s, z. because my tongue is curled. For these two, z, z is the voiced sound. Z, z. I can feel that vibration. And s, s, s is the voiceless sound. There's no vibration. Let's see if I can get this to move. Z, s, 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 s. Okay, yeah, the air's blowing down a little bit, so s. It's not as easy to get it to move, but z is voiced. S is voiceless. The snake is voiceless. Okay, practice z and s with me by reading these two sentences. It seems these zippers are sipping on something. Are they also hissing about his business? Let's do that one more time, a little faster. It seems these zippers are sipping on something. Are they also hissing about his business? Sh and zh are often represented by the combination of sh in a word like fish or ship, and the zh sound is often represented by an si, usually sion, in a word like vision, vision. But the si combination gets that zh sound. Let's talk about the difference between the sh, zh sounds compared to the s, z sounds. While I showed you that my teeth were closed but not clenched, not biting down at all for s, z, s, z, when we do the sh and zh sounds, we actually do want to clench our teeth a little bit, very lightly. So take a look. Sh, zh versus s, z. Sh. So my teeth are actually touching here. Sh, zh, sh, zh, sh, zh. The second difference is that while my tongue rests behind the bottom teeth, when I say s and z, we actually want to pull our tongue back into our mouth when we say sh and zh. So what you could do is just bite down and then make sure you pull your tongue back and then let out air. Shh. You'll also notice my lips are pursing into a little hole. Shh. Shh. And that shh is your voiceless sound. Shh. 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 While zh, zh, zh is the voiced sound. Practice zh and sh with me by reading this sentence. She's not sure if she can measure pleasure, but she should treasure her visions like wishes. One more time, a little faster. She's not sure if she can measure pleasure, but she should treasure her visions like wishes. The last fricative is the sound. This is a voiceless sound. And I think this one is pretty easy for most people. It's the sound that we make when we warm our hands, or if we pant or breathe heavily. And you can also think about laughing. Just be sure not to make that ah sound. The sound is simply just letting out air from the back of your throat. Practice the sound with me by reading these two sentences. His hair has hilarious mishaps behind his head. He hisses and holds his hamburger with hot hands. One more time, a little faster. His hair has hilarious mishaps behind his head. He hisses and holds his hamburger with hot hands. So there you go, those are the fricatives in American English. This pronunciation video was made in cooperation with Truvec. To learn more about Truvec, go ahead and click the link I left for you in the description. His hair has hilarious mishaps behind his head. He hisses and holds his hamburger with his